Don't do anything because you want something in return, because most likely you won't get it. And you might find that what you get comes with a price. And I'm not saying not to do anything for anyone else. You should help people whenever you can. And you should always put out a hand when one is needed, because God put you there for a reason and put you two together for a reason. And it's not the person you're putting out the hand to that you should expect payment from. It's God. And God isn't going to hand you $5 because you gave someone $1. Not right away. It might take a while. You might not even realize God gave you the $5. He'll, you know, get you a little extra food when you order a meal or put it to you in some way. But He'll take care of you. You can be sure of that. And that is the point. That it's not up to the person. Like if you give someone $1 on the street, do you really expect them to pay you back? It would be nice to get a thank you. You might not. You still give it. Uh, he might try to steal your girlfriend, you know, but you still do it. And if your girlfriend goes with him, then I don't think she was much of a girlfriend. So, it's just always have a good heart. Always uh, put your best foot forward. Put a hand out when it's needed. And you'll see, God will put you in positions and places and circumstances where you'll see where you can help. And it just might be just $1, not your paycheck. And it just might be your paycheck too. So there's no limit. But whatever you put out, you will get back. But don't do it to get it back. Do it to be a nice person. Do it to set an example. Um, create a. You want to live in a good village? Create a good village. If you want people in your town to be respectful, be respectful. Uh, if you want uh, people to hate people, then you need to hate people. I don't think you want that. Uh, love people, and I know people are hard to love, and I know we're taught at a young age. The devil, look at that. The devil's shutting me up. We're taught at a young age what the definition of love is between a man and a woman, not between a man and a man or a woman and a woman. And that's a lie. So, it's just, you have to love our fellow human beings, no matter what swings between their legs. And you want them to love you. So if you want them to love you, you have to love them. And you can't wait for them to love you before you love them. You have to love them even though they don't love you. And that's the key. It's not them first, it's you first. You give the dollar first, and maybe down the line when you need $1, somebody will give it to you. But maybe they won't. Maybe they'll charge you double. You'll say, God, what are you doing? Well, if you have to pay double, maybe it's because you could afford it, and that person needs it, and this is God's way of giving it to them. You know, uh, and I'm not saying being a doormat or letting people walk all over you. You have a right to self-respect. You have a right to dignity, but you have to put people before you in the sense that they won't put you before them if you don't put them before you. And I know it's easy to be mad. It's easy to shut up the world and hide in a room and sit on a screen and not talk to anybody and just say the world sucks. I don't want any part of it. But when you do that, other people do that. Just like I said, if you want a nice town, be nice because other people will be nice if you're nice. And if you're a loner and you stay in a room, all the people in the town are going to be loners and stay in the room. And then when they come out of that room, they won't know how to relate to each other. They won't know how to talk to each other. And if there's a disagreement in any way, it'll blow up. Guns will come out, knives will come out. It'll blow up to a big thing. And when you break it down to why it blew up, it was just a little misunderstanding. But because they live in rooms by themselves, they don't know how to deal with other people. They don't know how to relate to other people. They don't know how to solve their conflicts in a human way, in a dignified way. They pull out the gun, they pull out the knife right away, and that's how they solve their problems. Uh, we're taught to hate other races, to hate other people, and that's what they want because that keeps us in our room and it keeps us from leaving our room because the bad people are outside the room, and they're not. The bad people are in your head. They're not in your town. They're not in your room. And being a good person, you attract bad people because they know they want what you have. And, look, scam artists are attracted to rich people because they want what the rich people have, the money. They think the money is what the rich people have, when the rich people really don't have money. They have wealth beyond money. And that the scam artist can never have. You know, the wealth isn't the paycheck, the wealth isn't the bank account, the wealth is in the heart. And a lot of wealthy people are wealthy because of the way they think and the way they treat people. And there are a lot of very good people that are wealthy. Now, all the bad ones are the ones that get the press, the ones you read in the newspaper. But they're not all bad. And even the bad ones in the newspaper are not necessarily bad. They're just portrayed that way because they want to get something out of them. And when you're a rich person, your public persona is very important to you. What people think of you is very important to you. It can mean life or death to you, depending. And it's just, and that's why this Epstein thing is such a big deal because it paints rich people as being horrible, and they're not all horrible. Uh, are there horrible rich people? Of course there are, but there are good rich people as well. And but back to giving a dollar. You don't need to be rich to give a dollar. I've given my last dollar to people. Um, I had $100 and I needed it to buy something, and which was crack. And it was one day I was on the subway going to get my crack, and I ran into somebody and they needed $10, and I gave it to them because I knew God put that person in my life, and I was buying crack. I was a crackhead buying crack, and I gave $10 to some Indian kid who needed to take a taxi ride because he could not get home because it was too late at night. There were no buses. There was no other way to get where he needed to go. So I gave him the money so I could take a taxi. And, you know, did it come back to me? I'm off crack. I don't do crack anymore. I have a good life, so I can't say it didn't come back to me. But it doesn't come back in the way you want it to. It's like it's like buying a scratch off ticket. You expect to win whatever money is on the ticket, but you don't always win that way. You know, uh, sometimes you find a ticket on the floor. I found a ticket on the floor once, and it was somebody threw it away, and I scanned it, and it was worth $10. So there, my expectation was really low. I picked it up off the floor. I thought it was, and when I read the ticket, I couldn't figure out how it won, but the scan came up $10, and the person who threw it away didn't scan it. They threw it away. So I scanned it just for the hell of it, and it was a $10 winner. So, God has a way of paying you in ways you can't imagine, you know, and you can't direct God into how he's going to work for you or how he's going to do it for you, you know. And I don't give $1 to homeless people. I give 20s, 30s, 40s. I give whatever I can, whatever's in my pocket. If I feel the need, if I feel the pull, if I feel the pull from within to do it, I will do it, you know. And again, I'm not doing it for a reward.